So recently I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw an ad pop up on my For You page about Sydney, Sweden. Did you guys see the ad?
The first time I saw it, I was scrolling through my For You page and I bumped into her like laying. I think she was just laying and she was sipping up her jeans. And then she says something along like, "My jeans are blue." It took me by surprise a bit, but then after I just scrolled away. I didn't like stay around to entertain the ad.
I was not exposed to it at all. I only watched it because my sisters told me to go watch it. Yeah, you guys were like, "Oh, watch it because we're gonna talk about it." And I'm like, and then I watched it and I was like, "Oh, cool."
Well, the internet went on fire because of this ad.
Really?
Yes. People got mad because the ad said she had great genes, which sounds like great genes. Like what you're born with, your looks.
Oh. Yeah, I did not get that until now.
And since she's blonde and blue-eyed and skinny, people were like, is this giving like low-key racist or old school beauty vibes? So it turned into a whole controversy.
Honestly, people are so insecure. It's crazy. I don't understand how that video was taken in such a
It's
negative way.
because the problem is that the video, or some critics allege that it promotes eugenics, a scientifically inaccurate theory that promotes humans can be improved through selective breeding of population. So essentially, it's alleging that having blue eyes and being blonde or specific color tone is better and it's the only way to go. So like if you wear those jeans, your genetics will be good.
I don't know. I feel like the people who say that, whenever they have kids and they're in sports, they probably give participation trophies and ninth place trophies. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. I feel like you just create a soft generation by just allowing a simple ad to get blown way out of proportion to that degree. Because I think about, what if like an African American ad is made with black people and they highlight great qualities that they have, or any other race, like Hispanics or Asians. It's not like a campaign. I know you can interpret it, but it blows my mind that people took the time and just like saw that ad as something negative.
Well, the issue is that a lot of the times communities that are indigenous or just minorities are not really representative in these spaces, and the reason being is because one, they're not being cast, or there are black people, there are Mexican people, there are Native Americans who work in the industry, and even Indians, but sometimes they're not the ones given these roles. And I think people started to take offense because of the word choice and the pun that it made. And I feel like it was purposely done by the marketing team because they were talking about how their stocks went up after this.
How does them having great genes make me feel inferior to their genes? I have different genes and my genes are also great.
The problem is the beauty standard.
Which is?
Because for generations, at least in the new world, anybody who has blue eyes and blonde hair has been praised. And usually brown hair, like nobody wants to have brown eyes. You take the most popular, or the most, there was a recent video that I saw where the TikToker said, what are the top 5 eye colors that everybody wants to have, and or the best eye colors? And green was number 1, blue was number 2, and brown was not even on the list. I think hazel was like 3 or 4. So exotic colors like gray, all those colors were preferred by people as better eyes.
I think that also has more to do with the fact that it's just rare.
Yeah.
Like having those colors is rare and people kind of crave what they don't have. It's kind of like a lot of women would wish they have a big ass, right? Not everyone is blessed with those genes, those Latina genes, right? But a lot of people would want that. So whenever you see an ad that displays the Latina curves, like why would a white person look at that Latina ad and say, you know what, they are putting themselves on a pedestal and in return they're putting me down because I don't have those genes? Like, it just doesn't really make sense to me.
Other critics did say the campaign is hypersexualized and it glorifies Sydney's physiques. So I do think she's a gorgeous girl.
She's a cute girl.
She's really beautiful, I'd say.
She's a cute girl.
But the jeans don't give her ass. I'm just kidding.
You know, when I have a bigger ass than you, that's a problem.
Michael. I was stalking the market for American Eagle these past few days because of the ad, and supposedly it went up significantly, soaring by as much as 14% to 20% following a social media post by former President Donald Trump praising actress Sydney Sweden. Everybody's saying that he praised her, but in my opinion, I don't think he praised her. I think he's praising the fact that she's a Republican.
Let me just clear out like the video that went viral, because there's multiple little short ads, and then a lot of people are saying, well, I don't take it that big of a deal, it's not out of context. But like in one of the posters, she actually, it's not her, it's American Eagle, whoever the marketing team is. They have GENES and then crossed out, and then they put jeans. So they released a social media statement in where they said that Sydney Sweeney has great jeans, quote, is and always about the jeans. Her jeans, her story. We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their American Eagle jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone. So the issue is that, they knew what the ad was going to do. I think they were expecting it to cause controversy, especially how Lilo said that their stocks were down, especially last year. And so they were finding a way to be relevant again. It's kind of hard to capture people's attention in this generation when they have that poster and they cross out GENES and then they put jeans. They knew exactly what they were doing. So even though Sydney herself may have not thought of it being that important, or that message was going to cause such controversy online, whoever was behind the marketing knew what they were doing. And obviously these things have to get approved. It just doesn't go by one person and they just publish it. So this is something, a team that thought out what they were doing, and their main purpose was to capture people's attention so that they can sell jeans. And obviously the people criticizing this ad are probably not their target audience. At the end of the day, like, if we would have just ignored the ad and just moved on with our lives, nobody would have cared. No, like, they would have failed. But they obviously knew that the audience was going to play a role in the situation. And to just clarify the ad, because there's multiple ads that went online and people sometimes don't know which ad it is because it was taken down. It was the one where she said, quote, genes are passed down from parent to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, even eye color. My genes are blue.
If you see that your company is down in stock market, would you do an ad to capture people's attention?
Probably.
No, I think their ad was definitely calculated. Like, it was done with a purpose. But essentially, every time you run ads, it's with the purpose of promoting a brand. Like, that kind of like inspires me to actually make an ad, Fernanda's Catering, just to like stir the pot.
It's really crazy how the algorithm on TikTok is, because after seeing that ad from Sydney Sweden, I literally did the same thing what Jocelyn did. I saw it, I was like, oh no, and then I swiped. And then as I kept scrolling, a few seconds later, Doja Cat pops up on my For You page, mimicking Sydney Sweden's ad. And that went super viral. It felt to me like she was bullying.
Passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
I think I saw a video of Sydney actually crying and apologizing. Was it real?
I saw that, but people in the comments were saying that wasn't for like about the ad. It was about something else long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah.
I don't think she should apologize, because I don't feel like she's just the face. She's just the face of the brand, and I feel like it's kind of controversial, because when you take roles and you're hired, you have to evaluate like what are your standards of like what is the limit of what you're gonna do or say. So I feel like there comes a point in like a lot of these celebrities' life where they have to evaluate what they're willing and willing not to do. And she's, I guess, decided to go for this, and it stood with what she didn't think probably anything of it. And like I said, I feel like this is her team, the marketing team and the company, and then they just hired her to jump on it. And obviously she had a choice to like back out of it, but
Honestly, to me, it was giving messy but genius marketing.
If a white girl with blue eyes steps in front of a camera and says she has great genes and that bothers you, you are an insecure individual.
And also, she is known to be very provocative with her body and the tone of her voice. And I feel like that suited her perfectly, like in her role. Because, like, how are you gonna hate her being sexy into the camera when she's done it in Euphoria and another dating movie that I don't even know the name of, but, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly confused her from that girl from Mean Girls.
Lindsay Lohan?
No, not Lindsay Lohan. I know who Lindsay Lohan is.
Oh, you're talking about
the other one. I think she was she was portrayed as like a dumb character.
The one that
Or just like
the
a
weather.
red. Yeah. Or Amanda Seyfried or whatever from Mean Girls. But after asking my sisters, they were able to clarify that she was not it's not the same person. But like to Lilo's point, I think it's very interesting how she comes off as a very like sweet girl, and she doesn't have like, no offense, right? But you know, the body figure that pop culture would identify with being sexual, because she's kind of flat, you know. But like she did have that very seductive vibe, and that kind of made the ad seem a little promiscuous.
There's a new show out there in Prime Video called The Summer I Turned Pretty. Have you guys heard of this show?
No.
It's just a teen drama where one girl's caught between two brothers. Conrad, the moody one, and Jeremiah, the fun one. So Dunkin Donuts launched an ad right after Sydney Sweden. And basically, it's Gavin, that's the actor's name, who plays Jeremiah. And he's by a pool talking about how his tan is genetic and how he's a golden summer. And people started dragging it like, why are all these ads suddenly obsessed with genetics? First Sydney Sweden jeans ad, and now this. But what made it funnier is how the fans were like, why'd you pick Jeremiah? Duncan chose the wrong brother. Like, it became a whole thing. Team Conrad was not having it. Basically, in the series, warning you, spoiler alerts, Jeremiah cheats on Bella, the girl's name, the girl who's caught between the two brothers. And they end up being mad for a few days, and out of nowhere they make up because her brother got in a car accident, a very bad one, and he went to support her in the hospital, but they were in the distance. But she felt bad, so she went up to them and to him, and they talked and whatnot, right? A few days pass, they talk, and they make up, and guess what he tells her? Will you marry me? Fans went crazy, the ones who did not read a book, because there's also a book out there. They were saying, I'm Team Conrad, they better break up, da-da-da. And that's why they were dragging this ad. And that's why people were saying Duncan chose the wrong brother.
These ads are all using genetics as a marketing perspective, and I guess for the jeans, it made more sense because of the pun. But for the pool, like saying that you got your tan because of genetics, I think that's kind of, I don't know, I thought the ad was a little bit ridiculous for my liking.
Essentially, they're using race,
You
but like
must
white
have
people
tan,
don't even tan.
I mean, they do spray tanning.
Yeah, like white
Like,
people
they-
just
they-
burn.
they-
They just turn red.
I don't know, that's what but he looked, I guess because he looked bronze, I guess it was a spray tan. He didn't do, the tan was not natural.
I don't know. All my white friends, every time I see them,
They're red.
They turn red. They don't even tan.
In reality, in the real world out here in the hood and just in general, white people,
Yeah, so it's like why
white people
I
don't tan,
understand
they
why.
turn red. And
Damn.
I turn red. I'm not white, but
Oh, I tan.
I'm light skinned. I turn red.
I get that good bronze color.
An alien craft is heading towards Earth.
Dude, I saw that on my For You page.
They're coming for the tacos. It's your favorite taquero here with my beloved sisters. And this is the
13th.
13th episode of Guakin.
Chippy! Majority of scientists actually believe it's a comet. It went viral recently that it was a spacecraft because a Harvard professor suggested that the interstellar object could potentially be an alien spacecraft. He drafted a publication that went viral and had not been peer reviewed before. In that publication, he said that if the object was alien technology, its intentions would be either harmless, malicious, or somewhere in between.
What a genius.
It's just a hypothesis. I mean, he said a bunch of things, but that was like a hypothesis.
Like, those are the three options. They could either be harmless, malicious, or in
Hold
between.
on. The comet was first observed by scientists on July 1st, 2025, and they named it 3I Atlas. NASA says that the comet would remain far away and pose no threat to Earth. So it's actually coming in fast, and I guess that Harvard professor is known for speculating that aliens are going to come. Well, this is like the third time that this has happened where interstellar comet has entered our solar system. NASA made a whole publication where they said that it was a comet. So we're going to have to stay tuned because it's predicted to be here around November, December.
Honestly, if it's really aliens or something, I just hate it that the government has to, like, take them into custody. That's how I see it. Because, you know, they could be dangerous or whatnot. But, like, I feel like if they don't know what we do and they see that they're coming with weapons and stuff like that, if it is aliens, they're gonna want to attack us. Because they don't know us. That's what I'm trying to say. They don't know humans. Or who knows, there's a saying that they probably already do and they're the ones watching us since a long time.
We should do a free taco taste for the aliens.
No, you know what I was going to say? If
You didn't let him answer.
Wait, before he answers, if they already announced it's landing over there, let's just say, would you go and set up the taco stand?
They wanted to come. It would be a faster way for them to arrive, no? Wouldn't you say? Because wouldn't they travel through, like, dimensions and... I don't know if the movies are true.
No, yeah, but it just depends on where they're coming from. But yeah, to your point, yeah, technically, if they come from a different galaxy, they kind of have to travel at the speed of light. But that just goes to show how vast the universe is. Even though that they're traveling very, very quickly, it still takes time for them to get to us. Oh, kind of, if you watch Interstellar, there are like black holes that you can go in through, and then you end up getting warped into a different galaxy. That's how they can travel quicker. I don't know the validity of all this, but you mentioned that the NASA confirmed it.
They said it was a comet.
A comet, okay.
Yeah.
So no serious
The professor was
platform
the one.
or no serious institution has been like, yeah, this is an aircraft and they're aliens and they're headed this way.
It's false. Allegedly, it's false. It was just a claim that a professor did on a paper, and I guess somebody read it, put it on social media, and everybody started like taking it out of context. And on TikTok, it kind of went crazy because a lot of people started saying, "Oh no, aliens are coming," and like they don't really care. There's this lady, she posted a video recently, and it has a lot of views.
So according to NASA, the aliens is on their motherfucking way to Earth. And they hostile, which means they ready to fuck shit the fuck up. They say they're going to be here by November. My first question is, how y'all know that? Did y'all ask them? Did they tell y'all they is angry? Did they tell y'all they arriving in November? And then my second question is, can I get a ride back with them? Is there enough room on their spacecraft thingy-majigger?
If the aliens are coming, what are they going to do to fix our world? Like, do they have room to take me back with them? And she just started saying a bunch of stuff like that. It was pretty funny. Would you walk around the world for 27 years without taking transportation?
That is some commitment.
Oh, I heard of that guy.
I think it's impossible.
No.
Depending on what type of lifestyle you have.
Karl Bushby, 56-year-old former British paratrooper from Hull, England, has been walking for the past 27 years. He first started in Chile on November 1, 1998. He originally thought that his expedition would last 12 years, but has faced many challenges along the way, such as visa rejections, being in prison, and having to swim across bodies of water. So far, some of the obstacles that he has overcome has been going through the Darien Gap, which is a jungle known for its dangerous activity that happens there, such as migrants crossing, drug dealers working in the jungle, also the animals, the habitat, and anything corrupt happening. So it's a 60-mile stretch of wilderness. It connects like Panama and Colombia. After that, he went to USA, Canada, Alaska, USA again, the Arctic Circle, and then he walked through Russian frozen ice bridge from Russia to Siberia, then Mongolia, China, and the rest of Asia.
This dude is not fat, I imagine.
His latest accomplishment has been swimming through the Caspian Sea. He couldn't walk on top or go because he would have to go through Russia, and then he couldn't go through the bottom because he had to go through Iran. There's a lot of conflict happening in those countries, and so he wasn't able to get his visa, so he didn't want to wait, so he ended up swimming through the sea.
Yeah, this guy's badass. I like him.
And so now his biggest challenge is going to be going through the English Channel. That's insane. I think
How did
he
people
says
support him, like the government?
they just know, like in terms of like getting him out of prison,
Yeah,
making sure
exactly,
he's
how?
not
But
just
is he
talking.
documenting this process? Like, is he posting
That
on
is
social
a question.
media?
I don't think
How is he getting attention?
he started off in 1998, and I think it wasn't that common to be a blog traveler or things like that. But I know that he had sponsors because the article said that, but I don't know how he's doing it, to be exact. According to AI, Westward Productions is his sponsor. The footage taken may be used in an attempt to gain sponsorship for the entirety of the journey. For example, Karl has previously been sponsored by National Geographic to create a 2-hour TV special on his world walk. So he has had attention based on the countries he has passed. Because I'm sure, like, when you're going through, especially if you get detained, you're going to make headlines. Like, you trying to explain to authorities, oh, I'm going through here. It's going to be attention grabbing. Like, right now, he doesn't know how he's going to feel once he finishes because, he had a whole journey and mission. And it's going to be all over when he gets home. So, would you all ever embark on a journey like that?
Absolutely not. Like, to what avail?
I think it would be cool. If I start now, I would be...
And we wouldn't see you until...
Yeah. That's okay. You guys are always complaining about me anyway.
I don't think you could do it.
That's fucked up. No. I think I would want to take somebody along in the journey, but...
Yeah, you wouldn't make it to Colombia. The South America, it's too harsh.
Yeah, and then I feel like also women face more dangers.
Yeah.
Because there's
way more dangerous. And then you're stepping into lawless territory,
mm-hmm.
essentially. Like, there is law, but...
I would like to interview him. I would like to have him as a guest.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We'll
Even
give you
like
free tacos when you make it to LA.
Yeah. He already passed, USA.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He's in England.
Oh, man. Wait, so where does his...
He's supposed to finish this year. So that's why he started resurfacing. It took him 27 years. If he makes it through the English channel. But, yeah, I think it's a pretty impressive thing.
I'll give you 20
He's
tacos.
Definitely broken many Guinness World Records.
Did he break any bones?
Not that I know of.
Like, I'm curious to know about, like, the little details. Like, for example, what are the essentials that he carries? How does he fund this? Because we're talking about years of being on the road. Like,
yeah, he dealt with, like, COVID-19.
Yeah, like, he's...
Economic collapses. Lilo!
That's circulation.
Are you sure that's your circulation? Or does your foot usually get that swollen?
No. That's
Can you put the other one?
It's the first time getting stung by a bee, Jocelyn.
I think you should go to the doctor. I told you.
Yeah, your foot looks way too swollen,
Maybe it wasn't even the bee. Okay, let's talk about that really fast. Lilo, what happened to your foot? So Lilo right now's foot is very swollen. What happened to your foot?
I'm gonna cry.
I told her you have two options: either go to the ER or we film the podcast. And she's like, "I told you I was gonna film the podcast. I don't know why. Why don't you want to go to the ER? What happened?"
I got stung by a bee and I have fever right now because me sitting here in the podcast, my leg is more swollen than it was before.
Your ankle disappeared, yo. Holy
messed
fuck.
up.
Her foot, her leg, it's swollen. But I don't understand because, you know, she did get stung, but I didn't think maybe it's something else. Or maybe she's a look. That does not look right.
I think that's the venom.
Lilo, you
What,
could be
this or
dying.
there?
That.
Back.
That.
Does
That's
that hurt?
swollen.
Okay, so
Lilo,
go to the
that's not
emergency room,
swollen.
Lilo.
That hurts.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Wait, do it again?
Lilo, that is a problem.
Does that hurt?
No.
A swollen foot from a bee sting doesn't automatically require a trip to the ER, but it's important to monitor for signs of an allergic reaction or infection. If the swelling is localized and pain is manageable, home care with ice and elevation might be sufficient.
Told you.
However, if you experience difficulty breathing, throat swelling, or other symptoms of a severe allergic reaction, seek immediate emergency care.
Imagine you're a doctor and a patient wakes up while you're doing the organ removal. What would you do? Will you proceed and remove the organs? Or would you stop?
That is scary as heck.
You have to continue because she's already opened up.
No.
She wasn't opened up?
Yeah.
I don't think they wouldn't be able to.
They shouldn't be able to, but sadly, it's been happening. So Robert F. Kennedy, alongside the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, have been investigating 351 cases where organ donations were authorized but not completed. 103 cases showed concerning features. 73 patients had neurological signs, and that's incompatible with organ donation. At least 28 patients may have not been deceased at the time of organ procurement. This raised ethical concerns and legal questions. Particularly, overdoses were a problem, so people would overdose, they would diagnose them as dead, and then they would start opening them up, and they showed symptoms of being alive, and a lot of times they would continue. There's this case of this guy who overdosed, and he ended up waking up, and the nurse and the doctor said, no, we're not going to be doing these procedures. The organ people who were in charge of, collecting their organs and leaving, they were like, no, you have to continue. And they're like, no, I'm not going to operate because he's alive. And it goes against what I am taught, because as a patient, you trust these doctors with your life. And so he didn't do it. And he's like, okay, I'm going to have, he was yelling at the nurse, and he told her, you have to find some other doctor to do this procedure. And essentially the guy ended up making it out, but he ends up not being well anymore, like mentally. And his sister was the one who talked about his story. So that is crazy. I think a lot of the times these professionals, they gain a lot more money from getting organs than from keeping the patient alive. And another story that I've been hearing lately is that when the woman gives birth and the placenta comes out, a lot of times they're performing C-sections because it's better for the placenta to be less contaminated, and they're able to use the placenta for other scientific things, and it's worth a lot of money. There are ways to get it, but you have to go to like a process, and you have to inform yourself, because I've heard that sometimes people eat their placenta, and if you study it, you're able to see like root causes of like how to fix some of your medical issues that you may encounter later on in life. And there's other benefits, but I'm not really aware. Sometimes they hire doulas, and when the baby is born, they keep the placenta attached so that the baby continues to like have the nutrients and until it falls off on its own. And sometimes the doula even takes the placenta too. But that's crazy how a lot of these things, are worth a lot of money, and sometimes we don't know because they don't inform us and they don't want us to know. But that's why a lot of people say that you shouldn't put in your driver license that you're a donor or you want to donate, because if you do encounter a situation where you're in an accident and they declare you brain dead, you might not be brain dead and they will still go ahead with the procedures. And they say that it's better sometimes, if you do want to donate, to just tell your family members that are close to you that that's your wish, and then if the situation didn't come, you allow them to do the organ donation. But other than that, they say not to do it on your license because they will try to do anything to just remove the organs for money and greed. Thoughts, comments?
That's horrible. Couldn't possibly imagine. Imagine that car accident that I had, and I'm not even dead, and then just because they want to make a pretty penny, they take my organs.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. I was like, damn.
That's horrible.
And I'm not even here to advocate for him. So I think there's a way for you to change it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to DMV tomorrow.
That's sad.
And getting ripped open mid-surgery, you waking up, holy cow.
Oh, and in some cases, there was reports of them opening them, and then the anesthesiologist would inject more so that they would go back to sleep. Isn't that sad? So, be careful who you trust as your healthcare provider.
That's why I don't want to go to the ER.
You'll be fine, Lilo. That's a different case. We're talking about
They're
your
gonna
foot.
cut off my leg.
No, they're not.
No, for the damn bee.
How about if you're allergic? I think you should go. Going viral on TikTok this week has been a video in where a wife caught her husband cheating with his co-worker, and so she followed them. And so then the husband tries to block the wife, but he wasn't successful. So she goes around him, and she crashes into the white truck of the woman that was having the affair with her husband and flips the truck over.
That's crazy.
Who should be held accountable in that situation?
It's a good
Should you think
question.
the insurance should cover the damages?
Well, they most definitely will. Who is to blame for that situation?
It wasn't her fault. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I think the problem there is that the husband, like, if he already knew that it wasn't working out with his wife, he should just leave because these people are grown as adults. I think, she was just like, don't mess with Latina women because they will come after you.
I don't know who is to blame, but
I think insurance is going to look at that footage and be like, nope, we don't cover these situations. Or maybe the judge, imagine you're
because
in court and the judge
girl,
sides the woman.
the lady that got her truck flipped over.
Yeah.
Like, why is it her fault?
She's not.
She got in the way.
She got in the way because she's alive. She didn't get hurt or anything.
Yeah,
but
no, I
essentially,
think the girlfriend.
They're saying that the black SUV, when it was trying to leave, the husband kind of hit her, so they're like she accelerated to leave, and so that momentum went, and she crashed into the white truck.
No, I think
I don't think she thought it would.
I think criminal charges can be pressed on the wife.
Everybody in the comments were saying, let's start a GoFundMe to free you.
Yeah, see, so criminal charges were pressed
That
on
sucks.
that. Yeah. I mean, because you can make an argument as attempted murder just because her vehicle was flipping.
It flipped once. Not
Jocelyn's over here against the cheating lady.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
because that's what she gets. There should be and wasn't Trump trying to make cheating illegal?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
So
yeah.
if he makes it illegal, wouldn't she win the case?
It's like
the one time Trump's policies is gonna come in handy.
Sometimes having there's certain moral codes that allows you to look past the laws of the land. And this is an
people will
example
justify
of one of them.
Oh, did you hear the case too? This another example of that, to look past the crime. The the two brothers who defended their sister because she was unfortunately raped by her stepfather. Did you see that? It happened. They were incarcerated, obviously, because they killed and murdered the stepfather after they found out that the sister was raped. And I think one of the friends also helped in. So the three of them were in trial.
Yeah, I saw a very scary stat for all the single mothers out there. One thing that almost guarantees that there will be sexual abuse in the household is when there's a step parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
I've seen that statistic too. It sucks.
But going back to the lady that cheated on the husband that cheated on his wife, do you think women should be career oriented or stay at home moms? Because in that situation, imagine that lady is a stay at home mom, and then for many, many, many years, and now they have that disagreement and they get a divorce, and now she walks away with potentially nothing, because what if they're broke, right? And with the obligation of the kids.
Or they do a deal because of attempted murder.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll leave you out of prison, but you can't press charges.
Yeah, and so what exactly does she have to be able to survive and feed her kids in this situation? So
That's scary.
do you think that women should be stay-at-home moms or career-oriented?
They could do both.
I feel like they should find a balance, but it's easier said than done.
No, but what if you guys marry a man that says, "I need you to stay at home"?
I
and
think
cater to the kids' needs.
But here's the
and-
thing, I think it would vary from women's personal preferences because, for example, my best friend, she already established that she's going to be a working mom. She's going to have, like, if everything goes well, you know, her mom helping her out and then her husband and things like that. In my case, I've always pictured that if I ever do decide to have children, I want to be there in every step of the way because growing up, I had my mom in the frame and my dad too. So my mom, I had good memories. She took me, you know, to school, to activities, and I was raised like, you know, in a family ambience. When she had a daycare, she took care of other children. I got to play in. So I want to be, and then I also noticed that like with kids, there's stages. So when they're born, it's a stage, and then they end up growing up, and then eventually you don't really have them all to yourself anymore. So I would want to enjoy those stages. But I could definitely see why women would want to continue working, and I think that's why a lot of women do opt to do work from home, like remote jobs, because they could still attend to their household and they have that flexibility to still make some income.
I think they should be allowed to do both things. But if somebody were to marry me and tell me that they want me as a housewife,
I wouldn't want them to force me into being that.
I would consider
I want to
it.
have the choice.
I would consider it.
But like as you both know, I'm not good with like being restricted or like being told you have to do this way. That's not
I wouldn't
me.
let my future wife work.
I
Like, you're
don't
gonna stay in the
think-
house.
I don't think they
You better be
would boss
faithful.
me. I don't think they
Or else
would
it's gonna
boss me
go-
around.
It blows my mind. Like, what could you possibly be doing out in the world? Like, you know how hard. This isn't just like for women in specific. For both men and women, it's very, very, very difficult for you to be the top echelon of whatever industry you picked. So if you're not really making much of an impact, much of a difference, like your only motive to be working is for keeping yourself busy and having some sort of an income. So if you end up marrying someone that gives you the option of not having to work, that is a blessing. And you should use that as an opportunity to find a life that fulfills you. Like, you cater to your household, your kids, your husband, and then get some hobbies. Like, do something that brings a smile to your face. It really blows my mind that women would much rather be working for someone else and catering to somebody else's needs when they have, you know, a family that they can look after. Like, why would you want that for yourself?
Not everybody wants a family though.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to, if you're a woman
some
and you
people
don't want to
don't
have
want
kids,
kids.
of course, more power to you. But like, why would
'Cause
you?
you would
If you're gonna be
cook
like,
for
yeah,
him.
I want to do this, I want to work, and I want to have kids. Like, why would you? Like, what is so compelling about work that you wouldn't want to dedicate your all to your kids and to your household and to your family and to interests and hobbies? Like, why would you? Why is it so necessary for you to walk into someone else's environment where they have specific goals and dreams that are kind of not nowhere near related to yours and your husband's and your family's?
But also you, like, why wouldn't, it's the same reason why wouldn't you just be a stay-at-home dad?
Right? I
Take
would.
care of your
So,
kids.
yeah, I would. But
would?
there has to be a strong enough incentive. Like, the likelihood of a woman that makes more money wanting me is very, very low.
Would you marry a woman who made more money than you?
I would definitely be a stay-at-home dad, but I just see it very, very unlikely. Because in general, women don't date down, right? And someone who is financially well light years above me, like, it's very, very, I've never been in that situation. And the only way it would probably happen is if she comes from wealth. So she doesn't earn a lot, but her family comes from wealth and she inherits a lot. That's like the only way that I see it happening. But even then, like,
Or you marry like an athlete woman or someone like Kylie Jenner.
that'd be cool. But I just don't think it's gonna happen for me. And like I genuinely think like I'm just gonna be the breadwinner, and I would ideally like a woman that, you know, caters to the family and the household and
Good luck.
finds a way. It's just like, do you see my point though? Like, you what are you making money for? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if I am able to provide that financial stability, like an extra 40K a year, 50K, 100K, even I think 200K is like the cutoff. If you're making less than 200K a year as a woman, and you marry, or a man, and you marry someone who is able to give you the option not to work, why wouldn't you?
Well, the problem is that sometimes men, some of them are godos. Like, I don't want someone to be telling me like, oh, you can't buy that bathing suit or you can't drink that coffee because I'm paying for it. So they decide to have their own money, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But I do. I mean, I think it shouldn't be that way. That the men shouldn't.
Yeah, but those are
Be fijados. But
yeah. And
it happens. And then also, like, if like they're always constantly rubbing in your face, who's the one who pays for rent, or who's the one who pays the bills, and it's kind of like it gets to a point where you're just like, well, you rubbing it into my face, like, makes me want to do other things so that you don't have to be rubbing it in my face.
you choose your partner, right? So if this individual shows signs of being godo, why would you obviously shouldn't be marrying him.
Sometimes they
But
don't show it all the way,
having
all
a
the time.
proper-
Sometimes in the beginning they put their best foot or best presentations of themselves, and they say that you never know someone fully, and even when you're married, sometimes when you're married the truth colors come out. So there's been instances, unfortunately, where it didn't go the right way.
The structure that I always imagine this to be is like the man is the main breadwinner, and there's multiple accounts that all of them have access to. So the account that all the expenses like the house, the living situation go into, right? All the bills, everything the necessities. And then there's like a for fun bank account that, you know, everyone partakes in, whatever they're doing, whether it's travel, whether it's something with the kids or whatever. And one of the two most important accounts is his money and her money. And this is whatever, there's no audit. Like there's a monthly budget that goes into these accounts. Whatever you spend doesn't matter. Whatever I spend doesn't matter. And we don't have to be monitoring what we do with this money, right? And so addressing and having that conversation with your partner is definitely something that you can find a common ground. But ultimately, I don't see how a woman would much rather go into an environment and call someone else a boss and cater to somebody else's needs and work towards somebody else's goals and aspirations in
But
return for
sometimes-
money. Like, it just doesn't make sense
Sometimes
for me.
it's not even about catering for somebody else's needs. It's about fulfilling what you want to do. So, like, if you're in design or something and you like making designs and
So
you're
start
working
your own
for
business and work in your own
animation,
place.
there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
work for yourself.
But
Like,
how
what
about
do
if your dream was to work for Disney and to do cartoons and stuff? Some people have those dreams.
you have some
And even other people, like, even in astronomy, that's controlled by NASA. So, like, there's things that, you know, as much as you want to paint it picture pretty, you kind of do need people to want to be in these spaces. And
yeah, I
at
just
the
don't
end-
understand it. That's the only point I'm trying to
I
make.
understand
If you
that.
want to be a career woman, go for it. That's all for you. But I personally don't get it.
Well, that wraps it up.